Hello, and thank you for joining us today in our studies of Second Kings. Today we're in Second Kings chapter 3. And in this chapter, you have Israel going to war against Moab because Moab is refusing to pay the royalties and the ransom that she had agreed to pay under the days of Ahab. Now, the king of Israel, who is the son of Ahab, is going to create an alliance. He's going to create a coalition to go to Moab to go to battle. But they're going to come to a place where there is no water. And as they come here, you begin to see things fall apart as far as the mindset, especially of the king of Israel. And so I want us to notice a couple of things from chapter 3 that don't center so much on the battle itself, because the battle ultimately is going to be won with the help of God through the people of Israel. But I want us to notice a couple of things that lead into the battle. First of all, when you look in verses 11 and 12, you begin having a situation where the king of Israel is panicking. And you have this measure that they've all been brought out here to lose or to die to Moab, that the Lord is bringing judgment upon them. And Jehoshaphat is going to respond by saying, is there not a prophet of the Lord that we can speak to about this? Now, the interesting part about it is, if it is the case that God is against them, Jehoshaphat, who is generally described as a good king, has already agreed to this folly. And if the Lord is with them, then he's going to continue to be with them, given the situation. But you would think that Jehoshaphat would have already wanted to know what the Lord had to say. And yet he made an alliance and an agreement, and he jumped in without knowing whether or not it was what the Lord wanted him to do. It's not going to be the first time that Jehoshaphat is going to do this. As a matter of fact, when you go back to the end of the book of 1 Kings with Ahab, in what is going to eventually wind up being the final battle of Ahab, it is going to be during this battle that the king is going to be killed. But Jehoshaphat is once again going to ask for a man of God to speak, and yet he's still going to go to battle with Ahab, even after the prophet of God, Micaiah, tells them that if they go to battle, that Ahab is going to die. So here Jehoshaphat says to the king of Israel, isn't there a prophet of God? He's going to the right source, but he's going at the wrong time. Sometimes we find ourselves in the same situation. When we make choices based upon what we want to do and the things that we desire, and then when we start feeling like things are going poorly, we think about asking God to see if what God actually wanted us to do involved what it is we've chosen. A lot of people go to God's word after they've already made their choice, not in order to make the right choice. And that's in essence what Jehoshaphat has done here. Now, Elisha is going to come and he's going to speak to them and he's going to tell them what God says. But within the confines of everything else that's going on here, there's one more thing I want us to notice. And that is that alliances do not equal success. Here you have a group of 3 nations that bring together an army that is far greater than anything Moab has, and yet the king of Israel is thoroughly fearful that they're going to be defeated. Now, just because there are superior numbers, obviously does not guarantee success. But just because there are others that agree with you doesn't guarantee success either. In our world, we like to act as though whoever has the higher poll numbers, whichever side has the most people that agree with them, that must be the right side. But not when it comes to God. As a matter of fact, the king of Israel is afraid that the Lord has brought them out there into a place where there is no water to just allow them to perish and for Moab to defeat them. It's not that he's concerned so much with the king of Moab as he is with what the Lord is going to do. And yet many people today don't think at all about the Lord's aspect of things. The only thing they care about is strength in numbers. Alliances do not equal success. And alliances certainly do not equal being right. Just because we get a certain number of people to state that they agree with us does not make what we are claiming to be correct. Nor does it mean that it's going to be successful in the venture that is undertaken. History is fraught with situations where the overwhelming majority lost, or the overwhelming majority were wrong. We look back on situations like that in history nowadays, and we laugh at the ignorance or the simplicity of those that came before us. And yet there will be those that come in years and decades and centuries to come who will likely do the same thing to the people of our day. The fact of the matter is that the majority does not make an opinion right, that alliances do not guarantee success, and that strength in numbers when going against God mean absolutely nothing. Now, God is going to help Israel in this instance. He is going to give them success in their venture. But it's going to be in spite of the king of Israel's actions and not because of it. As a matter of fact, it is only going to be because Jehoshaphat is a part of the endeavor that God is even going to entertain the audience with the king of Israel. So these are some of the things that I found in 2 Kings chapter 3. I hope that they are beneficial to you, and I hope that they help you as we strive to not only understand God's word, but to apply it to our lives to serve Him better. Next time we're going to come back and we'll look at 2 Kings chapter 4. I hope that you'll join us then. But until then, have a great day.